What is going on, everybody? I want to talk about the future of Chaos Space Marines. Now, this is just a theory, but if you like these kind of videos, please subscribe, hit like, comment, whatever. I try to respond to everybody. With the release of the Demon Rumor engines, you are getting a lot of teasers on new Chaos models coming soon. It's a lot of, I believe it's actual models that are maybe designed to look like drawings, like the colors are changed in Photoshop or whatever. But it got me thinking. I think the future of the Chaos Space Marine faction is going to separate from being just the evil version of Space Marines. So eventually they'll probably get rid of the Rhino and the Predator and all the other non-Primaris tanks. Could be 2 years, could be 5 years, could be 10 years, but I think they probably will get rid of those or allow those to be, they'll probably just upgrade them to Primaris versions or just start letting Primaris use those. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it looks like with the new Spider Forge Demon, which they previewed already, they showed you the model, it looks awesome. I think they're leaning heavy into the demon engines, things like the Forge Fiend, Mauler Fiend, Helldrake. They don't have an equivalent necessarily in the Space Marine army. So instead of it being like a Primaris repulsor tank and a Chaos repulsor tank, I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. I think what they're going to do is start making them their own unique vehicles and war machines. That way it separates them, and possibly in the future maybe even do that to the Imperial Knights, although it's such a popular kit. But it would be cool if the Renegade Knights had their own kit and it was just totally different, maybe in the same idea, Lord of War, T8, bunch of wounds, whatever, but its own separate faction, its own line of miniatures. Now all of this could be completely wrong, and what they're showing us as well is Adeptus Dark Mechanicus, Renegade Guard type vehicles. They could be showing the Dark Mechanicus. I do believe they've mentioned are coming. I don't know if that was just for Forge World or if that was for the plastic kits as well. But with Blackstone Fortress, it does seem like there is some Dark Mechanicus and Renegade Guard on the horizon. The reason I say Dark Mechanicus is not Blackstone Fortress, that's for the Renegade Guard. The new Spider Demon is, if you look at its feet, they're very similar to the Dune Crawler in the Adeptus Mechanicus. So, is that something you would want to see more of? Or do you like it being like the evil counterpart to the Space Marines? I'd be very interested in seeing how it kind of ventures off into its own. If you look, they already started this with Death Guard. They didn't have enough kits to fully separate, but the Plague Burst Crawler, the Blight Drones, the Blight Haulers, these are all vehicles that really have no equivalent in Space Marines, and they're not just evil versions of a Space Marine vehicle. So I could see in the future this being the case, and they will separate them further. Now, if there's still a generic transport like a Rhino or something in the future, maybe there'll be like a Chaos one too. But I think they're really doubling down on the aesthetics of an army. And while we're on the subject of the future, these new Primaris models remind me a ton of the second Stormcast chamber. I believe it was the Vanguard wing. They had the Raptors with the huge crossbows. They had kind of the hand weapon bolt pistol. These are the Stormcast guys. So these new ones, they have the sniper rifles. Looks like they're going to have some huge long-range Devastator type squad or some kind of mobile Devastator. Can't really tell if he's a jump pack guy or if he is just like planted into the ground. So it's going to be interesting. I would expect, if you looked at sales, Stormcast sell very, very well. And I believe they are going to mimic this in the Primaris Space Marine line. So, heads up, I would sell all your non-Primaris Marines and I would stop buying non-Primaris Marines, including Scouts, including all of them, bikes, all of it. If it's not Primaris and you want to long-term proof yourself, just get rid of it or don't buy it any new. Keep what you have and don't buy new stuff. Maybe you think that that extra 5 sniper scouts is really going to boost your faction up, your army, and if you're doing it for a tournament or whatever, fine. But long term, I would just skip it completely and go pure Primaris and just enjoy, because it's going to be a wave after wave of new releases, just like the Stormcast get. And I think it's so successful in Age of Sigmar that they'll do it in 40k, and before you know it, there'll be 30 different Primaris units available, and poof, all the old Space Marines go away. So let me know what you think the futures for Chaos Space Marines and Primaris, since we got on the subject a little bit. Be curious. I just don't think they're going to release... Basically, I don't see a Chaos repulsor tank or anything of the sort coming down the line. And they're certainly just calling them regular Chaos Space Marines, I believe. They don't seem to be Chaos Primaris Marines. And that'll be interesting in the future. Also, look forward to all kinds of crazy new models. I've been painting Necromunda guys. I've been painting things for Adepticon. I'm going to enter him in Adepticon. He is still very much a work in progress, but I think he's looking pretty good. And I've also been building models, and I picked up some Harlequin. Bought a Harlequin army today. So that's all I got for you. Please subscribe. We are still giving away Nagash, so go back through my videos to the Nagash giveaway and comment, subscribe, and you can win Nagash when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Talk to you soon.